Dear Leo, if there's ever been a moment in your life when money was destined to find you, this is it. Today, you're not just watching a video, you're standing at the threshold of a spiritual doorway that's opening wide for you. The title told you everything you needed to know. You will have so much money. But here's the truth behind that promise: it's not luck. It's not random. And it's not just a good week. It's divine timing. August 27th is more than just a date. It is an energetic pivot point, a golden portal of wealth, opportunity, and soul alignment, and you're here because something deep within you has already recognized this. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. You were called here. And that calling? It's not about chasing money. It's about becoming the version of yourself that money, purpose, and peace can no longer resist. Let me ask you something you may have never allowed yourself to fully feel. What if all the struggle, the setbacks, the self-doubt were never signs that you're behind, but signals that you were being prepared for something greater? What if this pause you've been stuck in wasn't punishment, but positioning? Because now, Leo, you are aligned. Spiritually, emotionally, cosmically. This video is not just a horoscope, it's a mirror reflecting back to you what your soul already knows. And what your spirit team has been orchestrating behind the scenes for weeks, even years. You are about to receive more money than you've ever imagined, but not because you wish for it. Because you're finally ready to hold it. Ready to become a steward of abundance. Ready to embody the divine confidence, generosity, and fire that has always lived within you. Ready to stop asking when and start declaring now. If that resonates, I want you to pause this video right now and comment below. I receive wealth with purpose, clarity, and power. This isn't just a comment. It's a contract. Between you, the universe, and the abundance you're about to welcome. Now, before we move forward, allow me a moment to offer something personal. I want to thank you truly for showing up here, for being part of this sacred conversation. Every like, every share, every comment you leave doesn't just fuel this channel, it deepens the collective field of abundance we're all building together. You showing up here helps bring these transformational messages to others who are still finding their way. And I hope you know, from the depths of my spirit, your presence matters. This isn't just a channel. It's a soul tribe. And the fact that you're here means you are part of something bigger than a prediction. You're part of a movement. Stay with me until the end, because what the universe is about to reveal to you is nothing short of extraordinary. We're going to dive deep into why your energy is finally in alignment with wealth, how your spiritual inheritance is unlocking right now, and what practical steps you can take to step into this new timeline fully and fearlessly. Now tell me, what led you here today? What inside of you is ready to receive? Because Leo, it's not just about money. It's about stepping into a future where abundance becomes your natural state. Let's begin. Money is not a stranger, nor is it a prize to be earned through suffering. It is a soul companion, a spiritual ally that has been waiting patiently at the door of your heart. And just like light doesn't ask whether it is worthy to shine, you were never required to prove your worthiness to receive abundance. You only needed to remember that you were born with the codes of wealth already embedded in your energetic blueprint. For many people, perhaps even for you, money has become entangled in a long emotional history. Fear of not having enough, shame for wanting more, guilt for dreaming bigger than what others told you was realistic. These emotions form silent barriers, subtle yet powerful walls that keep abundance standing outside in the rain. But money is not a force of punishment, it's an extension of divine flow, of life energy, of creation itself. When you begin to live in alignment with your soul truthfully, unapologetically, generously, money recognizes its resonance in you and moves toward you like iron to a magnet. You don't attract money by chasing it or manipulating it into your life. You attract it by becoming more of who you already are. When your energy is congruent with trust, creativity, joy, and self-worth, you move into harmony with what I call the frequency of financial welcome. It's not about doing more, it's about being more aligned. The frequency of abundance doesn't respond to desperation or doubt, it responds to clarity, purpose, and inner expansion. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this: money, not as paper or numbers on a screen, but as a warm, radiant presence. It's standing just outside your heart space, not forcing its way in, not judging your delays, simply waiting for your invitation. Not a command, not a chase. Just a simple, quiet permission: you may come in now. That is the moment the gates begin to shift. That is the moment the vibration begins to change. Not because you did something right, but because you remembered you were already enough. Golden light is a key here. In energy work, the color gold carries the vibration of wealth, vitality, and divine activation. When you imagine yourself bathed in golden light around your heart, your hands, even your bank account, you're not pretending. You're attuning. You're retraining your field to match the frequency of what's already yours in a higher timeline. And the heart chakra, when opened and infused with golden light, becomes one of the most powerful magnets for prosperity, not through force, but through trust. This is where emotional healing and energy alignment merge. If you've ever felt afraid of asking for more, if you've struggled to receive, or if you've been told that wanting money is selfish or unspiritual, this is your invitation to release those imprints. You are not greedy for desiring a better life. You are not shallow for wanting comfort. You are responding to a soul-level call to become a vessel for light in the material world. And so we pause. We breathe. We allow. Not to control the flow, but to welcome it. To be in communion with it. Just as God doesn't give based on perfection but on faith, the universe responds not to perfectionism but to presence. When you say, "I invite wealth into my life," you're not demanding. You're coming into agreement with what was always meant for you. So take a breath now. Let your shoulders drop. Let the pressure go. This isn't about earning money, it's about reuniting with it. And trust me, it has been waiting for you longer than you think. There is something deeply sacred about remembering who you are, not just in this lifetime, but across the threads of your soul's eternal lineage. For you, Leo, the symbol of royalty is not metaphorical, it is embedded in your energy field, in the fire of your solar essence, and in the way you walk into a room with presence even before you say a word. This is not arrogance. It is ancestral memory. Your soul carries the blueprint of divine leadership, and money, in this context, is not simply currency. It is a form of light, a resource meant to empower the hands of those who lead with integrity and vision. When we speak of financial abundance for Leo, we're not talking about materialism or greed. We're talking about spiritual stewardship. Your wealth is not just for you, it's meant to circulate through you. To elevate others. To fund dreams, to build legacies, to support voices that haven't yet been heard. There's a reason you were born under the rulership of the sun, the very center of our solar system, the giver of light, heat, life itself. Astrologically, the sun represents purpose, soul vitality, and divine confidence. And this week, as it forms a harmonious trine to Jupiter, the planet of expansion, generosity, and financial opportunity, you are being activated to reclaim the abundance that is not just for your survival, but for your impact. This is not just a good transit. This is a cosmic permission slip. A celestial reminder that you were never here to shrink, to hustle endlessly, or to compete for scraps. You were born to radiate. And wealth, when aligned with purpose, becomes a ripple effect of that radiance. That's why when you are wealthy not only in money, but in clarity, time, and self-worth, you inspire others to remember their own worthiness too. Your energy elevates the room. Your stability gives others permission to believe in their dreams. Your prosperity becomes prophecy in motion. But how do you move from knowing this mentally to embodying it emotionally and energetically? It starts with dissolving the belief that you have to earn your place at the table. It's the quiet shift from, I must prove, to, I must remember. And what you are remembering is this: your soul has already walked through countless lifetimes where it carried wisdom, influence, and spiritual authority. That memory doesn't disappear. It lives in your subconscious, your intuition, your instinct to lead. Imagine that your bloodstream carries codes not just from your physical ancestors, but from your soul family, an ancient tribe of light workers, healers, and visionaries. When you step into financial empowerment now, you're not just creating safety for yourself, you're fulfilling a vow made long before this life. A promise to be the one who breaks cycles of fear, of lack, of silence. You're not just making money. You're activating healing across timelines. That's why your prosperity matters. That's why your abundance is not selfish, it's sacred. So, if you're feeling this fire in your chest, if you're feeling the whisper that says, you were meant for more, you are not imagining it. You are remembering it. And the best part? You don't have to chase anything. Just show up. That's what royalty does. Not with arrogance, but with presence. And in that presence, you become the channel through which wealth flows, not as a reward, but as a responsibility joyfully accepted. Write it down. Let it anchor into your being. I am a conduit for divine abundance, not through force, but through alignment. And let the world adjust to the frequency of the king or queen you truly are. There is something profoundly magnetic about truth when you speak it, when you live it, when you breathe in alignment with it. And for you, Leo, truth is not just a virtue, it's a frequency. A radiant pulse that lives beneath the surface of your personality, beneath the social masks, beneath all the versions of yourself you've been told to perform. This is not about being authentic in the way the world throws that word around. It's about returning to the core flame inside you, the unshakable, unfiltered spark that has never stopped glowing, even when the world tried to dim it. Money doesn't chase performance. It chases energy. And the energy that is most magnetic to abundance is the energy of alignment. You don't need to pretend to be someone who already has it all together. You don't need to force yourself into an image of success that isn't yours. In fact, the more you perform, the more money slips through your fingers, because money, like all forms of energy, is drawn not to perfection, but to presence. This is where so many people feel stuck. They try to manifest wealth by acting like someone they are not, repeating affirmations they don't believe, following routines that don't fit their rhythm, silencing parts of themselves they've been told are too much. But Leo, you were born to be too much. Too bright. Too passionate. Too bold. Your fire is not a flaw, it's your frequency. And when you live from that center, when you let go of the pressure to be anything other than fully yourself, you become a magnet for every resource, opportunity, and financial blessing you've been trying to chase. This is not to say that money is a reward for being expressive. It's that when you are grounded in your truth, your nervous system relaxes. Your heart opens. You stop leaking energy through shame and self-censorship. And that shift in your inner landscape sends a new signal out into the field. It says, I'm ready. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not begging. I'm not pretending. I'm home. And energy, especially the energy of money, can only find you when you're home within yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you felt fully alive? Not performing, not hustling, not calculating, just pure, visceral aliveness. That's the place where wealth is born. Not just financial wealth, but emotional wealth, relational wealth, creative wealth. Money is only one form of abundance, and when you align with your truth, all forms begin to flow more freely. It's okay to start small. Share one thing today that feels true, even if it's vulnerable. Ask for help from someone who makes you feel seen. Set up a savings account and name it something sacred. Purpose Fund. Freedom Vault. Legacy Savings. Attach meaning to your money. It's not about how much is in the account, it's about who you are when you touch it. Try this. Each morning, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. And repeat silently, money is drawn to truth. I am truth. I am light. I am the frequency of abundance. Not because saying it will make it magically appear, but because feeling it will make you a match for what was already seeking you. There's no need to struggle your way into prosperity. Let the truth of who you are do the work for you. You are already enough. You are already radiant. And the more you show up from that place, the more life will show up for you in ways you didn't even dare to imagine. There are moments in life when everything feels ordinary, yet something beneath the surface whispers that a shift is near. You glance at the clock, 8:08. Later, a receipt total reads $88.88. A stranger mentions the number 27 in passing, and it sticks to your awareness like static on silk. These are not coincidences. These are threads. Symbols. Patterns of light woven by a universe that doesn't shout, but instead speaks in the quiet language of synchronicity. You see, Leo, when your internal energy begins to align with your external destiny, the universe responds not with loud declarations, but with signs that ask to be noticed. And the more you tune in, the louder these signs become. Not because they are trying to convince you, but because they are confirming what your soul already knows, that something powerful is shifting, and that you are being invited to participate in that unfolding. Numbers are one of the most common ways the universe communicates during moments of transition. Seeing 888 repeatedly is not a random event, it is a frequency broadcast, a financial green light, a reminder that the flow is coming. It often appears right before a breakthrough, encouraging you to remain open and grounded. 777 carries a more sacred tone. a message that your financial journey is being woven directly into your soul mission. It tells you, don't separate your purpose from your prosperity, they were never meant to be divided. And then there's the number 27, especially when it aligns with a date like August 27th. This isn't just a date, it's a portal. A gateway between timelines. A choice point where new wealth patterns can begin if you're awake enough to walk through. It's important to understand that these signs do not force anything. They invite. They ask for your partnership. They whisper, are you paying attention? Are you ready to act? Because the moment you engage with them, writing them down, reflecting on their meaning, taking a small intuitive action, you begin to dissolve the barrier between spiritual awareness and real-world results. What was once mystical becomes tangible. That's why this isn't just about signs. It's about your relationship with your intuition. When you begin noticing the repeated symbols, you're actually strengthening the bridge between your conscious mind and your higher knowing. And the more you trust that inner voice, the more clearly it speaks. This isn't imagination. It's inner intelligence. And you have access to it at all times, especially when you slow down enough to listen. One of the most empowering practices you can do right now is to take a moment and write down 3 financial signs or symbols you've encountered in the past 72 hours. They could be numbers, phrases, dreams, songs, or even conversations that stirred something inside you. Then ask yourself, what could this be trying to guide me toward? Let your answer arise gently. No need to analyze, just let it speak. The color sapphire blue can be a helpful ally during this time. Energetically, it activates the third eye chakra's center of clarity, foresight, and spiritual interpretation. When you wear it or visualize it around your forehead, you enhance your ability to receive and interpret the guidance being sent your way. It's not magic. It's focus. And when your mind is calm, the symbols become loud. Even in numerology, there's meaning in this very moment. The number 2 and 7, when added together, form 9, the number of completion. This marks the end of an old cycle, a spiritual graduation of sorts. And what comes after completion? A beginning. A new timeline where wealth isn't just possible, it's divinely designed. You are not being teased with clues. You are being guided towards something already waiting for you. So stay open. Keep watching. And when you see a sign, smile, not because you're surprised, but because deep down, you already knew. There is a quiet truth that often lives in the background of our financial stories, one that isn't spoken aloud but still echoes through the way we spend, save, or shy away from wealth. And that truth is this: not all of our money beliefs began with us. Many were passed down, generation to generation, like heirlooms made of fear rather than gold. You may not have realized it, but the anxiety you feel around asking for more, the hesitation in receiving with ease, or the guilt that creeps in when you succeed, these might not be yours alone. They could be echoes of your ancestors, embedded in the emotional fabric of your lineage. For many of us, especially those born into families where survival took precedence over joy, money was never just money. It was tension. It was silence at the dinner table. It was arguments behind closed doors. It was power given or taken. And without knowing it, we carry those experiences like spiritual contracts, agreements we never meant to sign. But Leo, what if you were never meant to repeat the cycle? What if you were chosen to heal it? You didn't come here to mimic the fears of those who came before you. You came here to rewrite the narrative, not by blaming the past, but by blessing it and choosing differently. You came here not just to earn wealth, but to create a new emotional legacy around Itone, where money supports joy, where financial freedom becomes the soil where love and purpose grow, not the chains that bind them. When you take a step back and observe your patterns, you might begin to see the roots of scarcity in your family tree. Perhaps someone once lost everything and taught their children to never take risks. Perhaps money came with manipulation, and you learned to associate wealth with control or betrayal. Perhaps your parents tried to protect you from financial pain, but in doing so, unknowingly taught you to fear abundance. These stories aren't here to define you, but they do ask to be acknowledged before they can be released. You can begin that release in the simplest, most powerful ways. Write a letter to the limiting beliefs you've inherited. Tell them you see them, you understand where they came from, but you are choosing to let them go. Burn the letter with intention, not in anger, but in sacred closure. And in the space that opens, speak these words aloud: I no longer carry the story of scarcity. I inherit only what uplifts and supports my soul's highest good. There's a practice I love to offer in moments like this. Imagine you're standing in a golden field, surrounded by the spirits of those who came before you, not as judges, but as witnesses. One by one, you look them in the eye and say, "Thank you for your lessons. But I am walking a new path now." And in return, they nod, not with resistance, but with quiet relief. Because on some level, they've been waiting for someone in the bloodline to say what you just did. This is how cycles end. Not with loud rebellion, but with gentle clarity. With your willingness to say, "This ends with Menet because I reject where I come from, but because I honor it enough to transform it." Let this be the turning point where money no longer carries the weight of old pain, but becomes a channel for healing, generosity, and joy. And if there is someone in your family, living or past, that you feel called to send this healing energy to, write their name in the comments. Not just as a gesture, but as a declaration that the healing has begun. You were never here to repeat the wound. You were born to be the remedy. And that changes everything. There comes a moment when the universe pauses, not to test you, not to judge you, but to ask a simple question: are you ready to meet the life that's already trying to meet you? That moment, Leo, is here. The energy of August 27th isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a threshold, a cosmic portal that doesn't open randomly. It opens in response to your courage. Not your perfection. Not your polished plan. But your willingness to move, to risk, to rise. This energy doesn't wait for you to feel fully confident. It doesn't wait for you to have it all figured out. Instead, it meets you in motion. It meets you mid-step, as you reach for the phone, press send on the email, create something imperfect but infused with your truth. This is the heartbeat of aligned action, doing something because your soul says yes, not because the timing is convenient or the outcome guaranteed. The gateway of August 27th doesn't open to those who hesitate. It opens to those who show up. And here's the truth we often forget: momentum creates clarity. We tend to think we must wait to be inspired before we act, but in reality, action creates inspiration. The tiniest movement, a call, a message, a post, a plan, can signal to the universe that you're not waiting to be rescued. You're willing to partner with the energy that's already moving in your favor. And when you move in harmony with it, things accelerate. Not because you pushed, but because you aligned. This is especially important for Leo, a sign ruled by the sun, whose power lies in visibility and radiant self-expression. You don't thrive in the shadows of waiting. You thrive in the light of initiation. When you act, you activate your magnetic field. You turn on the light that calls in the people, the opportunities, and the resources already searching for you. That's why this moment isn't about having a flawless plan, it's about being bold enough to take the next visible step with an open heart. Think of the color ruby red, the energetic color of this portal. It's the color of grounded fire, of bold beginnings, of decisive movement. When you bring red into your space, into your wardrobe, or into your visualization practice, you awaken your root chakra's seed of trust, action, and physical manifestation. This isn't about wishful thinking anymore. It's about embodiment. It's about planting your intention not just in your journal, but in your calendar, in your choices, in your voice. Try speaking this aloud. I agree to carry the light of financial abundance into the world. I am the one holding the key. Say it not as a wish, but as a remembering. Because deep down, you've always known you weren't here to wait for permission. You were here to open doors not just for yourself, but for others who will walk through them behind you. This isn't about doing everything today. It's about doing something that proves to your own subconscious that you believe in what's possible. Whether it's launching a project, applying for something you're not sure you're ready for, or simply declaring to yourself that you're done hiding, whatever action you choose, let it be honest. Let it be alive. Let it reflect the truth that you are already enough, and that your willingness to act is what invites the miracle. So don't just visualize the life you want. Touch it. Move toward it. Speak to it. And when the gate swings open, don't ask why. Just step through. The world is not waiting for your perfection, it's waiting for your presence. And that presence, Leo, is your greatest power. Leo, if you've stayed with me this far, it means something inside you has already awakened. The moment you pressed play, your soul said yes to remembering what it already knew, that you were never meant to chase wealth, you were meant to become it. August 27th isn't just a date. It's a doorway. One that separates who you used to be from who you are now, stepping into a version of yourself that is magnetic, radiant, abundant, and aligned. And no, the universe isn't asking you to be perfect. It isn't testing you. It's inviting you to receive. Can you let that in for a moment? Not as a theory, but as a living truth. The wealth you've been praying for, the opportunities you've been hoping for, the life you've glimpsed in your dreams, theory not being withheld. They've simply been waiting for the version of you who is finally ready to say, yes, I'm available. Yes, I trust. Yes, I'm willing to act. So take a deep breath. Feel what it's like to no longer be the one searching, but to be the one the world is searching for. Say it out loud if you feel called. I am the treasure. And the world is finding me now. Let those words ripple through your energy field. Let them anchor into your reality. Because when you speak with belief, the universe listens. And when you follow that belief with action, the universe responds. Now, my dear Leo, I have a gentle challenge for you. What is one small, brave action you can take today to step into your abundant timeline? Is it reaching out to someone you've been afraid to contact? Is it finally sharing your voice? Starting a savings account? Forgiving an old story about money that no longer serves you? I'd love for you to drop a comment below and declare it. Not just from a but for yourself. What shift are you claiming today? And if something in this message stirred your heart, if you felt clarity or confirmation, I invite you to like this video. It's not just a button, it's an energetic signal that you're saying yes to this path. Subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness if you want to keep receiving these powerful transmissions when they arrive. We're building a space here not just for predictions, but for transformation. And most of all, share this video with someone you love. You never know who needs the reminder that money is already on its way to them. That they are seen. That they are chosen. That they don't have to earn their worth. It was always theirs. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for your energy, your presence, and your courage to listen deeply. You are not alone on this journey, and I am so honored to be walking beside you. Remember, your abundance doesn't live in the distance. It lives in the decision you make now. So what will your action be? I'll meet you at the gates of your new chapter.